Welcome back, everybody. Gaming Grandpa here, continuing my tutorial series in the MLS on Football Manager 23. This is part 2, League Structure Continued. Today we're going to talk about the Lamar Hunt US Open. For those of you that play in England, think FA Cup. That's pretty much exactly what it is. There's 103 teams that will be invited this year. There's professional teams from the MLS, the USL Championship, the USL League One, NISA, and MLS Next Pro. Now, for those of you that don't know what MLS Next Pro is, that's your B team. So, how would that work if some chance your B team made it all the way up through the 4th round and met up with your senior team? That would be that's crazy. I don't know if that's happened. I don't know, because the funny thing is you don't control your B team, so you can't. It's like you're sending them out on loan, but you're not. So you don't really control it, and therefore they can play against your senior team. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see if that happens. Now, there's amateur teams that are invited to from the USL League 2, NPSL, USA, SA, and US Club Soccer. There's a lot of abbreviations, a lot of acronyms, and I can tell you what they are, but it would just take so much more time. Now, it's a single elimination tournament, and the MLS enters in the 4th round. Now, qualification for this thing is really, really confusing. There's only so many teams that will advance to the 4th round from each division on the pyramid. So, for example, the USASA, I think they're allowed 6 teams. US Club Soccer is allowed 6. NPSL, I think, is 7 or 8. It's just, I know the MLS is only allowed 8 teams, and so you get all of them together and they enter the 4th round. It's kind of like a group stage or a knockout stage after that part. So anyhow, like I said, once again, it's really confusing. Now, the MLS, the top 6 teams from the previous year automatically advance to the 4th round when they enter. The other 2 teams, because they can have 8 teams, the other 2 teams have to go through qualification. It's kind of like if you get into the UEFA Champions League qualifying round. Think of it like that. Now, the winner of the Lamar Hunt US Open does receive a Concacaf berth. Now, the MLS Cup. In America, because we have 2 conferences, you don't win the league by winning your conference. You have to have a playoff. Now, here's the thing. You would think it'd be the top 2, the winners of each conference that play for the winner of the league. That's not how it is. Think promotion playoff. That's pretty much how the MLS Cup is designed. It's not really confusing. It's just really weird why we do it that way. There's 18 teams, and each team is seeded 1 through 9. So the top team in the conference will be seed 1, and the 9th place team will be seed 9, and 18 teams, 9 per conference. Now, the first round is called the wild card. It's only your 8 and 9 seeds. 8 and 9 from West plays each other, and same thing for the East, and the winners advance. Now, the next round is different. They're doing it different this year. It's a whole new structure. It used to be one and done. Now, the round 1, it's the best of 3. So the team that wins 2 games first advances. Now, the team with the highest seed, they get to host the first game. It's at home, and then they play away. And if there's a 3rd game needed, they play at home too. That's the advantage of being the higher seed. So the seed 1 will play the winner of 8-9 game. Seed 2 plays 7. Seed 3 plays 6, and 4 plays 5 of each conference. The next round is the conference semifinals, and that's, once again, from here on out, it's just 1 game after the best of 3. It's confusing, but hang in here. Now, the winners of the 1-8-9 game plays the winner of 4-5. Winners of 2-7 plays the winner of 3-6. Then you have 4 teams left that go to the conference finals. So you have 2 teams from the West, 2 teams from the East. The winner of those games will play in the MLS final. Phew. Playoff done. The winner receives a CONCACAF berth. Now, once again, it doesn't mean that the top 2 teams are going to be in the MLS final. It doesn't work that way. In American sports, and that's the glory about having a playoff, the best teams don't always win. So it would be real exciting to see an 8 or 9 seed come out with a winner, and it hasn't happened yet, but who knows? It could. Now, the CONCACAF Champions League, this is just like the UEFA League. It's just like the African Nations League. It's the postseason of the continent. Now, the cool thing is there's 16 teams that are invited. Mexico gets 4 from Liga MX. The Honduras, they get 3. Haiti, Costa Rica, El Salvador, and Panama each get 1. And the MLS, in all our glory, we get 5. Once again, the winner of the MLS Cup gets a berth. Conference winner. Now, the conference winner that didn't win the MLS Cup gets a berth. Now, here's where it gets really, really, really confusing, and I'm not going to get to all the rules. If the winner of the MLS Cup is not a conference winner, then they take the top team from the two winners of the conference, if that makes sense. It's really kind of confusing. There's other ways they could get in there, but it's just really, really confusing. So let's just go with the conference winner, okay? The U.S. Open winner gets a berth, the Supporters Shield winner gets a berth, and then the Canadian Cup winner gets the berth. Now, Canada has its own version of the U.S. Open Cup, and I'm not going to cover that because there's only 3 teams in the MLS, and to be honest with you, I've never played a Canadian team. I might have to at some point, so maybe next year I can have a tutorial on Canada teams. We'll see. I know it's a little bit different. Now, the winner of last year and the winner of this year, whoever wins the Concacaf Champions League, doesn't automatically qualify for the previous year, which is unlike Europe and unlike every other Champions League in the world. You have to get your berth by one of the ways into it. Winning the MLS Cup, conference winner, whatnot. So that's kind of crappy if you win the Champions League this year, the Concacaf Champions League, and then you say you finish 11th and you don't win anything else, you're screwed. You don't get into the next year. And that's kind of crazy because there's a lot more money to be made in that. Now, the winner of the Concacaf used to be able to go to the FIFA Club World Cup. Now, that's only once every 4 years now. So I don't know if they have a playoff of the 4 winners. I don't know how they do that. I have to look that up, but I guess I'll find out. But anyway, that's going to take care of the league structure. The next thing is going to be the terms and definitions, and it's probably going to be a 2-episode, and after that, we're going to have a lot of fun. So anyhow, once again, leave a big thumbs up if you like what I'm doing. Leave comments. I appreciate it. And then subscribe. I could always use more subscribers. So anyhow, thanks again, guys, and talk to you later.